Hi, Alexander.
Hi,
Again.
Andre.
I want to ask you some questions about current political crisis in Serbia. Do you heard anything about this? I know that you are kind of apolitical, but I think it is kind of loud enough so you hear anything about it. I just want to hear you, not like your opinion, but what do you know? How do you feel about it?
Yeah, as I told you, I live in, let's say, not in a city center, so a lot of things aren't happening directly around me, and all the things that I see and heard are more or less from media, uh, because I didn't have the chance to saw anything with my own eyes. I didn't participate in any of the events that happened in Belgrade in previous days, but more or less from my friends and from I don't know, the current events and everything that's happening around me. Um, Currently, we had uh, elections, and uh, elections in Belgrade are pretty much tight, and the current government and opposition had similar number of votes, and currently the opposition is asking for elections to happen again, and the current government is actually not opposed to it. They try to make coalition with some other how do you say parties, and but as I heard that failed, so we are probably going toward new elections in Belgrade. So uh, that's probably what's going to happen. And there were some uh, actually a couple of days, 2 days ago, some violent events. The opposition tried to break in some government buildings. Uh, the current government didn't have that much of aggressive approach as they had before. They tried to defend themselves. The police wasn't aggressive toward the opposition. In previous times that we had before, that same government was more aggressive toward opposition, toward people that are protesting. But in this current event, they weren't as much, and that's pretty much on high level from my side on current events that are going on. I don't know if you want any details or if I'm aware of them.
Just like details like do you know this opposition? Do you support them or are you above this? Yeah, and in a bit words, how can you describe like their positions? Because it is
Well, I
like I know that opposition is
yeah
opposite, but maybe they
yeah
are against something.
yeah. Honestly, as you said, I'm a little bit apolitic. I didn't follow that much of their agenda. Personally, I don't have that much of a problem with the current government. A lot of people around me, especially young one, had have some kind of issue with the government, because government is kind of corrupted. A lot of things happen, but personally, it doesn't affect me in any way. Some things are pretty much improved. Administration in government, I don't know. So um, we had that inflation. Inflation is going all over the world right now. So yeah, we had increase in prices. It's a little bit harder now to get by. But beside that, since it's global, but beside that thing, I have a feeling that things are kind of improved in a way. Um, but yeah, we still have problems with a lot of corruption for some people, they had to be in a current government. They need to be in a party. They had to contribute to the party in some way. I personally don't know anyone who had to, for example, be in a party to get a job or do something to get a job for the current party, but there are a lot of talking about it. And regarding the opposition, I didn't follow them. Actually, they just rise quickly, and that's honestly something that I don't like. When something rise that quickly, either we have extreme problems or someone is, I don't know, paying them or creating them. So that's actually something that used to happen before, that someone is actually just giving money to opposition and creating the opposition. And we had that mass shooting in Belgrade a couple of months ago in elementary school, when kid took a gun to school and shot a couple of his schoolmates, and it was really hard to all of us. It was well, especially for the parents of those children and all of us who heard about it. And at that moment, people spontaneously started to going out the streets to protest, because we had a lot of firearms in possession. I'm not sure right now in numbers, but we are in world in top 5 or 10 countries on number of firearms per citizens. And the protest was focused on that, and people weren't feeling safe. And it started like that. People that were against the violence, against the guns and things like that. And somehow the opposition took over those people and created a political party from it. And now that's the opposition that we currently have here. And as I said, I didn't follow their agenda. I didn't know who actually led that opposition, but right before the elections, I wanted to look up. I said I am apolitical, but I wanted to know what the current government is against, what is going on. Maybe they are better. I don't know. I was considering even voting. I didn't vote. And when I saw the names in that political party, I saw that the current opposition is actually consists of the previous government that was overthrown by the current government. When I say overthrown, I didn't mean in any violent way. There was as well elections, and the current government won, and the previous government was kind of scattered. They a bunch of them went from country. Some of them stayed, but as the current government, they were as well pretty much corrupt, even more if possible. Nothing actually happened during their rule. We didn't get anything new. We're always talking about that we're in transition period. We were transitioning toward European Union. A lot of talking about joining the European Union, and in that process, a vast majority of people lost interest into joining that Serbia actually needs to join the European Union. So a lot of, I don't know, wasted time with the previous government, and now there are new opposition. So actually and that's not something new in Serbia. We always have things like that. We always there are not a lot of new faces here, and always couple of people that are turning around, one towards the east, one towards the west, and it depends on people at the moment if they are actually interested into doing something, going out to the streets and stuff like that. But as I said, it happened pretty fast, and I honestly don't feel that I'm living, and people around me actually, that are living that bad, that they just spontaneously want previous government to return. So for me personally, it's something it's kind of fishy. I don't like it. So yeah.
Yeah. What is your opinion about your current president? Is it Vucic?
Yeah, it's pronounced Vucic. Uh, Personally, I don't know. I don't like him that much. He he have a little bit toxic attitude toward people around him. He's extremely bossy, and he's a little bit narcissist, and kind of have that uh, dictator vibe around him. Uh, that's the downside. But the and beside, yeah, of course, the um, everything that is going inside the um, government institutions and corruption and everything. But on the other side, I'm when I had a chance to speak with people that are not from country, from Serbia, uh, they have that of course who know about politics in Serbia. That they have that feeling that we are stronger than we were before. When I said before, I mean 10 or 15 years ago. Um, and somehow we're moving forward with him and everything that's going on right now. We have some tough times around Kosovo and some other things with our neighbors, and but I think that he is a strong figure, and currently we need a strong figure, and uh, we kind of need someone who have that little bit dictatorship in him, and who's gonna say we are gonna do it like that, and we are gonna do it like that, because before we had pretty much weak leaders, and I believe in last 20 years he's probably the strongest one, because the previous leaders were switching in a year or two. We never had that president that uh, is head of the country for this period of the time, and that was for a reason. They weren't for that. Even they were showing that they're too weak, or they were uh, uh, not able to lead people around them and point country in any direction, because we were pretty much in stagnation before the current government came up. I don't know, maybe the current events could lead us in bad way. That's actually the downside. The current leader could lead us down the road. We could end up pretty bad, or we could end up somewhere better.
Thank you. Also, talking about you said that in as you know, people are having the dispersed opinion, so they are not like uh, only pro-European; they are also pro-Western. Oh no, wait, pro-Eastern. So,
Yeah.
as you think, just like your like just like you feel, is it dominating the pro-Western or pro-Eastern opinions?
Serbia is definitely pro-Eastern. Uh, that's our burden in Europe as European country. I personally am more pro Eastern than pro Western. Not in extreme way. There are some things in West and in East as well that are good and as well bad. But when if I had to pick, I believe I'm more pro Eastern, and a majority of people from my country as well. We have that strong relations with Russia and recently with China as well. We have I don't know, a lot of influence from China recently. They participated in a lot of projects, build a lot of bridges, roads. So they're trying maybe to push their way into Europe from Serbia, but recent events probably slowed that down for them. And country as well tried to be neutral, and I believe that our let's say foreign politic is that we are neutral. We are not pro-West, we are not pro-East, we are just doing business with both sides. But currently that's how we started it, but currently that's not working because there is a lot of pressure to put sanctions on Russia. We actually managed to not do it, and that's probably why there is more tension now in the country than before. One of the reasons. So yeah, to sum it up, people are more pro-Eastern than pro-Western. I don't see any benefits now from joining the European Union. We have our neighbors around us, Croatia, Bulgaria. They didn't get much from joining the European Union. Their status didn't change much, and they're actually now less in the union. So a lot of things are expected from them. Usually, it's who found the union benefits from it. The other ones are not benefiting that much. That's my view of joining the union. And as well, the bad thing from the West is the woke culture and everything about it. And honestly, I don't see that happening in Serbia for a long time. So that is as well something that is holding. We are more traditional than West. We had that. I don't know. I had a chance to speak with a lot of people from all around the world, and when I compare to West, I see that we are more traditional than them, having more family values. We like to spend time with our friends and similar, and they're much colder than us and are more into I don't know, just looking for themselves, and we're not fitting that much into Western culture because of it as well.
Thank you. Now let's speak about, since most of the viewers are from Russia, they want to know how do you see it? So especially in the view of latest events.
Well, yeah, I said that I'm apolitical, but beside that, I'm curious, and I tried honestly to have perspective over things that are happening, especially since war in Ukraine started. I wanted to make my opinion on more objective ground, and I'm not sure how I can reach to information that are objective, how I can know that the source is valid, because we have locally as well media that is pro-West, pro-East, and during the same day you can get information that Russia is losing war. In the same day you can get the information that Russia is winning. Depends on who is writing the story.
Yeah, it's very understandable thing. We have this too. So like information storm. Well, even in Russia, they don't have opinion about Are they winning or are they losing? So are they good or
Yeah.
are they bad?
Yeah, that's actually the issue. A lot of things right now is happening in Belgrade, and I wasn't aware of it. So
Yeah.
how can I be aware of something that is happening so far away? And um, I wasn't able to form that much of objective opinion over it. Uh, there is actually a lot of people coming to Serbia, both from Russia and both Ukraine. And a lot of people change their, I don't know, they moved here.
Yeah, they
I'm
changing
not sure at the
citizenship.
numbers. It's maybe 500,000 of people, even maybe up to million now. I'm not sure. I think I remember that correctly. So we are that shows as well that we are kind of close. Um, and personally, I think the similar things are happening in Ukraine. I wasn't able to get that information that much around, but I think the similar things are happening in Ukraine that were happening here in Balkans. A lot of influence from the West in Ukraine created a tension between Ukrainians and Russians, and it happened for a long, long time. And uh, I believe that Russians had to do something about it. And uh, the only difference between Russia and Serbia is that they are much stronger than us, and they can actually do something about it. We didn't have that luck when West intervened in latest event in 90s. We weren't supported almost from anyone, and that's why we lost that war, because the opposite side was supported from the West, and they're still supported, and that's why it's pretty much hard for us to get by. Probably because of everything that happened then and it's happening still. We have one of the biggest inflations in Europe, and probably because West doesn't like us that much. Um, and I believe same thing happened in Russia with Ukraine, but yeah, as I said, they're much stronger than us, and they use their strength to try and defend their borders, because next thing would probably be uh, expanding from Ukraine to Russia, and they probably had to do something before that happened.
Yeah.
If that answers your question.
Yeah, actually, this was the last question. You covered three of them in one response. And, well, we can almost finish this, but I just wanted to ask you, how is the life in Serbia, just in general? It's because people like to know how life is going in our countries.
What you said, people
Like to know
didn't.
how the life is going in other countries.
Oh, oh. Well, in Serbia, you when you are here, you feel pretty safe. It's safe to walk around. It's not like Wild West. We have a lot of pretty buildings, a lot of beautiful nature. We have some medieval fortresses. Um, I actually personally like to travel a lot around Serbia. There are a lot of places to visit here that are considered as national treasure. A lot of um, old buildings in capital and other um, bigger cities. Um, People are friendly and uh, open to anyone who comes from outside world. We like tourists here actually. Some say that we like tourists more than our own people. Uh, uh, we like for our guests to feel comfortable when they come to our country and our houses. Beside that, the inflation is, as I said, has reached some levels, and a lot of prices are doubled, and if not even more than doubled. And we already had high prices here. I had a chance to be in cities like London and similar a couple of years ago, and when I compared the prices, we had at that time almost the same price of living in London and in Belgrade. Beside the rent in London is much higher. Here was a lot lower, but in recent events that price also went up, but still not to London level. But when we are talking about, I don't know, going out or buying some groceries and stuff like that, the prices were pretty much the same. I'm not sure how we stand now after the inflation, but as I said, the prices are, for us at least, pretty much shocking. So we are still trying to get used to it, especially for people who have the average salary. I honestly uh, not sure how they're getting by. It's probably one of the reasons as people are maybe now easier to go out in the streets and protest.
Yeah.
Because of the prices went up. One of the main reasons why people are now easier to I don't know, change sides and go to the streets.
Great. So that was the last question. Also, I want to, since in my stream I was helped by a, a woman from a, like it's called, well, from a group in a social networks, which is providing information about Balkans in Russians. So can you just give this group a hello? I will send you the name, and can you please say it in Serbian? Not the group, but like giving the hello.
I'm not sure I understand you. You want for me to read what you sent, or
No. Uh, well, this is the name of the group I sent you, and you can
okay?
just give the like hello to them in Serbian.
Okay. Do you want me to say it or to?
It's better to say it. So
Okay. Pozdrav iz Srbije za grupu. Sad ja, I'm sorry, I'm just not able to read the name,
I'll
but
read.
I can say
Югославский уклад един.
pozdrav za grupu Jugoslavski uklad Idin.
So thank you.
You're
That's
welcome.
all. See you later.